You're an old millennial. Alright. Well, let's see what we got. Alright. Start with the battle courses. Alright, it's kind of hard to see, like... But I don't want to mess with the window size, because then it's going to mess with it in OBS, so alright. We're our first battle. Alright, so we've got Big Donut to start off with. A lot of people give Big Donut, like, their thing is boring. I think it's fine if you've got enough people for it. Like, 2-player it's not good, but in 4-player it's fine. But it's still not fantastic, so we're gonna put it at 4. It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, this is tough too, because I don't really like battle mode all that much, so I'm trying to not take that into consideration. Block Fort is a well-designed track. I still don't have a ton of fun with it, but it's... I can't hate it, so I'll put that at a 3. I think... I'm trying to remember the names of all of these, too. What is this one? I forgot what it's called. But... yeah, it's... I don't know. Whatever it is. I mean, if I can't remember the name, it can't be that great, right? Oh, I'll put it in easy mid as well, too. I think that can be a more fun one. And that one works for 2 players as well. Is it double decker? Something like that. Close enough. Skyscraper. I really don't like Skyscraper. Oh, there's Big Donut, Skyscraper, the good one, and the other one. Alright, go on. Hate me. I've never had fun on Skyscraper. I fall off every time. It's too small. It's obnoxious. Yeah, oh man, I knew I was gonna get some hate over this, but... Alrighty, so let's go in track order. Luigi Raceway gets a solid 5. It's boring, and that makes it the worst one to try and... one of the worst ones to try and grind. It's just boring. And also, because it's a circle, it's stupidly optimized. So, no. It goes directly to 5. So then Moo Moo Farm. I really liked as a casual track. I really liked when I was starting to speedrun. And now that I have to start looking at mole patches, I'm not liking it quite as much. But I still think it's got a cute aesthetic to it, it's fun. So I'm gonna put it at a 2. It's not like my favorite track ever, but it's good. KTB. Honestly, you know what? That's gonna be the first one that goes on a 1. It has one of the best soundtracks, hands down. It's a bright, colorful course. It's got some fun, like, turns and twists in it. The crabs can be annoying, but usually they're not really that big an issue. So I'm actually, as much as initially I was really struggling with KTB and really hated it, and the ramp can be annoying, it is a good track. I do like it. KD is an instant 1. You guys know. It is a tough track, I complain about it, I get salty over it, but I like the fact that you actually have to adapt your strategies as you improve. As much as it is frustrating to have to adapt your strategies, I don't think there are too many tracks that require that as much as KD, and the train is awesome. The zoomer thing is you put the better ones within the... Oh, alright, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll go through the tiers after I do the initial sorting. So that brings us to Toad's Turnpike. I'm gonna put Toad's Turnpike in 3. I like the soundtrack to it, but overall I'm pretty ambivalent towards the course. I really hate it in mirror mode, but it's a good track. It's not my favorite track. I don't find it amazing. It's got a few too many like scary SMTs with the traffic for me, so that's how that is. Fraps Snowland. I'm debating between 3 or 4 for this one. I think I'm gonna put it in 4. Mirror mode Yoshi is the worst. I'm still in no mirror mode towards Turnpike. You have traffic driving at you while you're trying to drive. Nothing's worse than that. But yeah, Fraps Snowland's gonna go into 4 just because, like, I feel like it could be a fun track, but, like, there are too many things that make it not fun to drive for, like, time trials. I'm kind of looking at it from a few perspectives. But, like, when it comes to time trials, there's annoying stuff at any level, so it's kind of like, it's got a great soundtrack which brings it up. It's just kind of, yeah, it's okay. After Fraps Snowland is Choco Mountain? Right? Choco Mountain, I'm debating between a 1 or 2. Because it is really good. But I'm also thinking about when you do, like, verses and the fence is gone. Just how frustrating that can be. But overall, it's a good track design, it's fun, it's got a good soundtrack, so I think it also goes into 1. And then Mario Raceway. Mario Raceway will get 2 from me. Mostly because, like, while I find it a fun track, partly it's a soundtrack, it's the same soundtrack as the other raceways, which is kind of like, I'm not a huge fan of that particular soundtrack. It just also is really easy to get salty on that one. Wario Stadium. This will probably get me some hate. I'll put it at 3. I'm pretty ambivalent towards it. It's a little too long of a track for me to really enjoy it. But at least it's a long track, but it's still, like, interesting. There's different things you have to do, so it's not like you're just like, drive straight, turn, like... I'm kind of thinking of my entire experience. If there's anything that I'm kind of, like, on the fence on, it's like I'm kind of focusing first on, like, thinking time trials, but if there's something where I'm like, this is a 1 or 2, then I'm like, well, how is it in casual? How is it, like, with this? So yeah. What were you say? I'm just kind of ambivalent towards Sugarland. 5. Done. Moving on is Royal Raceway, and this is the opposite. Right to the top. It's one of my favorite tracks. I have a feeling that might change later on with time trials if I actually get to the point where I need to do stuff like big bounce for the flap, but as of right now, I have fun with that. It's also one of my favorite MK8 tracks. And it rounds it out with Bowser's Castle, which will be a 2, I think. I think the soundtrack for it's cool. It's very frustrating to play if you don't have a ghost to distract the swamps, but the environment's cool. All in all, it's a good track. You can unlock Marty. I think that's a myth, and I think I know who made that myth a thing. Grinding for the perfect tier list. Yeah, well, it was requested, so. DKJP. Any questions? No? Moving on. Yoshi Valley. This is a tough one for me. That's fine, it's an opinion thing. I'm actually going to put Yoshi Valley in the middle because I do find it fun, but Yoshi Valley for me is also very much a mental grind. So I can only play it for so long before I start, like, losing my mind. So, yeah, it's gonna go in the middle for me. I think it's got a fun soundtrack, it's got a good design, I like that you can take multiple paths, but... Where did I put Emma? I put it as second. Yeah, well, it was mainly the salt factor that made me put it there. Banshee Boardwalk. Done. I love Banshee Boardwalk. I love the atmosphere of it. The track's fun. And the soundtrack is not, like, the most top-tier soundtrack ever, but, like, it somehow still works. And you gotta admit, it's at least better than, like, DKJP, where it's, like, one drum, like, that loops every 4 seconds. It's got a, like, little creepy vibe to it. I don't know. Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. I'm stuck between a 4 and a 5 on this one, honestly. I don't think I hate it that much. You know what? I'm gonna put it in 4. Because I don't really hate the track. But it's just... It's boring. It's so boring. It's mainly boring just because it's like, if it was 2 laps, it would be fine. Or if it was like 30 seconds shorter, it would be fine. But it's just like 6 minutes, and it's just too long. It's too long of a track. If it was shorter, it would go higher immediately. But it's not, so it doesn't. So. Which is why I'm putting it at a 5. It's like, or sorry, at a 4 and not a 5. It's like, you know, it has some value. And it's pretty, you can throw a banana to DK, fun, but, yeah. So in terms of the, now that we have the basics, now we can figure out left to right, best to worst. It's so weird with the battle tracks thrown in here, though. Is it 2.5? I will say, alright, because 5's tricky for me to figure out. We'll start with 4. I will say that Rainbow Road can go, like, towards the 3, because it can be fun. And I would definitely rather play Prep Snowland than Big Donut. And I'm gonna do the same for Skyscraper. Yeah, Sherbert Land's in 5th. Have you never seen any of my sessions on Sherbert Land? Sherbert Land has literally made me get so salty I had to put my controller down, walk away, and, like, put dishes away to, like, calm down for 5 minutes because I got so mad at that track. That being said, I made Matthias a promise. I said, once I get to master level on Sherbertland, I will reconsider my thoughts on it. As of now, no. Well, take it also from the perspective, you know, I'll actually save this. And in like 6 months or so, I'll do this again without looking at this, and I will see how my thoughts have changed. But for now, these are my thoughts as someone who's like just out of reach of the top 600. Someone who didn't grow up with Mario Kart. So, gonna alienate the entire MK64. Well, if this is my reason why I become alienated from the community, I'm not gonna be too upset about that. At least this is the reason. That's all I'll say. I will say Luigi Raceway does go all the way to the end. So now that leaves me with basically, would I rather play Sherbertland or DKJP? Matthias can fight me. Bring it. Look, like, I'll die on this hill. I think I would still rather play Sherbertland than DKJP because I think that it is shorter. And at least the penguins are cute. What do they have at DKJP? They've got a boat, like... So yeah. So this is 5. 5 is sorted. 4 is also sorted. 3, again, I'm gonna put the battle tracks to the end because, you know. I think it's probably gonna be this, actually. Oh, okay. I mean, I still will fight over this. I'll fight you over this, too. Sherbertland stays where it is, and be thankful that I put it in the first spot for rank 5. So let's see. With these 3, the way I'm basically looking at it now is kind of like if I had these 3 tracks to pick from to play, which would I go with? I think I'd probably go with Yoshi Valley first. Come on. Hello. There we go. That works. Yeah, about this. And the Badger News School. Okay. We'll have to delay that though because, you know, trains aren't running, so I don't know how we're possibly going to meet up to fight. I'd say 3 looks pretty accurate. For 2, Ryu will hate me for this, but I will put Mario Raceway to the top of 2. Damn, I'd still rather... Nah. See, the question with this... Psyducks don't fly. And they don't swim. See, the question for this is basically coming down to, would I rather drive against, Womps or Moles? But this track is significantly shorter, so if you mess up, you can retry pretty quickly. I'll keep it like this. I know, I'm like crazy for saying RNG over like Thwomps, but like the Thwomps follow you and like, I've never had an energy drink. I will never have an energy drink. Yeah, moles are random. There's a chance they're not in your way. So, alright, that brings us to 1. This is actually tough. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. Choco Mountain does go at the end of this, I know. Koopa Troopa Beach is probably gonna be there too. Distraction Ghosts is this. Yeah, but See, the thing for me, from my perspective, I have to make a distraction ghost every time I want to run the track, which doesn't take too terribly long, but I still have to do it. If I had an N64 and I could just be like, hello, ghost, exist. Cool, but... Oh boy, and now I have to take, like, the 3 loves of my life and rank them, and that's really difficult to do. I'm gonna be honest, it started as a meme for KD because I just said something stupid and then it stuck. But it turns out I actually do really like KD. That being said, KD does make me the most salty out of these 3, so I'm probably gonna put that here. This is so hard. Having to pick Royal Raceway or Banshee Boardwalk. Neither of them make me particularly salty, I think. I love both of them. I think I'm gonna do Banshee first. Alright. There you go, people. There is my tier list. Send your hate. I will absorb it and put it towards my runs. That is my list. I mean, to be fair, could I probably do more, like, analysis, criticism of everything? Yeah, but, like, for taking a break to do this, I think this is, pretty good. Thanks for suggesting this, honestly, this was fun. I think it is something, I will do this again. Because I think it will be fun to see how my opinions change. Also, screenshot this, send this to Matthias, and be like, hey, what do you think? Now, let's untidy. I mean, we need another track. Lisa never plays Jamie Renew. Not even the worst thing that's ever been said to me in gaming before, alright? I played League of Legends as a girl, alright? I've heard stuff. Alrighty, well, this was fun. This really was fun. So, alright.